guys, what's up? Doing a quick video for you guys. The other day my Sesame Street yarn came, and there's 4 colors. There are 4 characters. Big Bird, and this is the Big Bird yarn. If you guys can see that. Yeah. Well, I'll just show you the squares. It's easier. So you got Big Bird. I mean, you could let it be like a lovey if you wanted to. B, she's been taking these and just carrying them around. But they're for a blanket. I'm doing a 16 square blanket. The blanket in Bag of Day Crochet video is a 9 square blanket. And I'm doing 16, and each of my characters will be at the top 2 corners and the bottom 2 corners. So give me a second. I'm gonna post a link to her video, Crystal's video, and on this one, so you guys can go and see the pattern. This pattern is so easy and it's addictive. The only thing I don't like about the pattern is that it curls up. So I am, after I put the borders on my squares, I am going to block them a little bit, and I'm gonna play around with that pattern to see if I can get it to lay flat. By increasing the stitches in the corners. We'll see. So yeah, so you got Big Bird, and then you got Cookie Monster, and you have Elmo, who is my least favorite character ever. I can't stand Elmo, but my friend Fifi loves her some Elmo. And you got Oscar the Grouch, who I think Oscar is probably my favorite character. And then that's it. Those are the 4 characters. But I had to do it twice because I'm going to be having another grandchild here in July, a grandson. So this first blanket is for B, a lovey blanket, and then I did the other ones for my grandson. Well, I'm just going to call him Dre. That's going to be his nickname from Grandma. I'm just going to call him Dre. I don't care what they name him. I'm going to call him Dre. So, because that was his grandfather's name, Andre. So, I'm going to call him Dre. Little Dre. So, yeah. But, now I have to put borders around all of these squares. And then I have to sew all the squares together. So I decided to use, B's has a purple theme for hers. So I'm putting a cream border around all of her squares. Or I should probably do white, because white is the only common color in all of these squares is white. So I'm going to do white. And since I'm doing 16 squares, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 11. So I got to do 3 more purple squares. And then I have to do, for his blanket, I really don't have to do any squares because I had some extra squares. So for his blanket, I have enough to go ahead and start his blanket. So I'll probably do his first. Because B has like 5 or 6 freaking blankets around here. This is like a keepsake, though. So for his, I'll go ahead and put his together. So he has his 4. And yeah. So yeah, I think I already have 16 squares plus his 4 squares. And then his, I can go ahead and start his. Even if I'm only 1 square short, it don't take long to do these. These squares only take about 30-40 minutes to do, if that. Y'all know how fast I crochet, so once I started these, it's like boom, 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 and next thing I knew I was done. And the yarn that's left over, I'm gonna make. I'm hoping there's enough of it for a Quick Oats cardigan, and I'm gonna make a Quick Oats cardigan for the new baby. And I'm gonna do it in size 6 months. That way he'll have something as the weather starts getting cooler. But that's what I've been working on. I'm also working on a hat. It is a pattern that I've done before out of a Malabrigo book, using Malabrigo and some Moki Moki yarn that had come out, that I used the rest of that yarn to make my poncho. My daughter, I gave that hat to my daughter. I have a picture of her wearing it somewhere, but someone stole her hat. So then she was like, if I ever see somebody walking around with my hat on, I'm going to snatch it off their head. But someone took the hat. So I'm making another one. This is my last skein of Maryland sheep and wool from 2016. I rarely buy yarn when I go to Maryland sheep and wool. I usually buy fiber to spin. But I love this color. And the yarn was a little rustic, but I figured it would soften with age. So this part, the white part, is alpaca. And it's actually what's left of the skein of yarn I had from Asher. He was one of the alpacas that he died. I think he got struck by lightning. But this was his last skein of yarn. And I made a project a couple years ago that I gave to them that had the majority of that skein in there. And this was all that was left, this little ball. And it's loosely wound. So I'm going to make another one of those hats like my daughter had. And then this came today. I don't know if it's going to be upside down for y'all or backwards. So these little buttons came today, and I'm going to put that on the projects that I make from now on. I've had my acid reflux has been going crazy the last month, and it's driving me crazy. It's like I'm like to buy stock in acids. So yeah, so I haven't found a project for this Ferris wheel yet, and it is a single. It almost looks like it's coarse spun, but I didn't find a thread inside of it. But I have 2 balls of this. This was a gift from one of my coworkers, and so I have 2 balls of this yarn, and I want to find a nice project for it. Probably gonna make hats out of it, or a hat. Or I guess I could do fingerless gloves, hats and fingerless gloves, because I have the 2 balls, so I have enough to do probably 2 hats out of each of these skeins, because it's a right fair amount of yarn. So yeah, it's 270 yards. So that's more than enough to knit. If I knit, I can knit 2 hats out of this 1 ball. And then do fingerless gloves and still have a little bit left over. If I crochet it, I'll be able to get a hat, maybe 1 fingerless glove, or a part of a fingerless glove out of each ball. So we'll see. I'm going to be checking Ravelry to see if I can find a pattern. Because it's almost makes me think about a fleece blanket when I touch it. And it's hairy. It's acrylic, but it has that effect of being a hairy, but it has a halo. So I don't really know what to make out of it just yet. Ravelry, as you know, recently updated their site design, the look of the site, and it looks like an old PHP bulletin board template from back in the 90s, and DHTML. For some people, if that's what floats your boat, then, I'm happy for you. But for me, personally, I prefer the old site because it was soothing to my eyes. I never had a problem with it. And I just felt like the colors of the new site, it was so white. There was so much white space that you would start getting a headache. I'm like, and I haven't had a migraine in several years because I started drinking a cup of coffee a day instead of taking the drugs that they gave me for migraines. I would drink coffee, and that would keep my migraines away. But I found myself within 20 minutes of browsing on the site, I couldn't look at it no more. I had to shut it down. So, yeah, I complained about it. And so they made it so that you could choose the old template. So I switched back as ASAP back to the old site, and I've been able to do my regular browsing and stuff. I don't know who they had do the testing. I don't know the age group of the people who did the testing. I don't know the design background as far as magazine, books, written content of the people who did the testing. But readability is always your priority when it comes to building a website that is going to be viewed by millions of people. Especially when it comes to people who use fiber arts, a lot of us wear glasses because as we get older, our vision gets worse. Once you hit the 40s, there's a good chance you're going to end up with reading glasses or some type of glasses, some type of vision issues. Those who don't, is a blessing on you that you don't have to go through that. A lot of us who wear glasses end up having bifocals or having to have reading glasses as we get older. So readability is always your first priority when it comes to designing a website. Then you have to look at your color scheme. Your colors, you don't want someone who is colorblind to have a problem with your website. You don't want them to not be able to see parts of your website. So that's the second thing when you're building a website. Then you can worry about your content and design elements, such as, are you going to have drop-down menus? Are you going to have, whatever options you're going to have for the people viewing that site? That always comes after you determine your readability and your colors. And that's just me. And I can say that because I actually have a bachelor's degree in web design and internet. So I don't use it, but I went to school for it. And not only that, I'm an artist of sorts when I want to draw and color and paint and stuff. So that's always on my mind when I do stuff for a family member who wants me to do something for them online, or if I do something for myself. That's always the first thing that's on my mind is who is going to be looking at my website and can they see it? If I can't see it, then I know a bunch of people can't see it. So I always make sure that is something that they think about, and when they're thinking of what they want their website to be like. The reason I couldn't work in my field or didn't work in my field, even though I love it, is because of people. I was not a people person, as far as people don't listen. If you are a dentist and you are trying to be a professional and you want a professional looking website, why would you want games on your website? Me as an adult, I'm the one paying the bill. The child is not paying the bill. If I go to your website, I'm going to your website so that I can, see what services you provide, see how much you charge for your services, and see if you are have an office near me, and read other people, like, client comments about you as a physician. I'm not going there to weed my way through your site, do video games, little cutesy things that you stuck up there. That's not what I came here for. If you want to do something like that, then get a personal website, or make a separate site for the kids that they can, your child clients can go and browse, where they can have fun little games and activities to help them with their hygiene, or whatever, to brush your teeth, running around something. I don't know. But I'm just saying that should not be the first thing that an adult sees when they go to your website. Your website is your place of business, just as much as that physical location is. And so that's the problem I had dealing with when after I got my degree and I was trying to work in the field. I was just so frustrated. I was just like, I can't deal with these people because they're not listening, and I can't deal with it. So that was the end of that. I just do it for my own personal fun or whatever, just to keep up with the technology and stuff like that. So, but I'm glad that they made it so that we could revert back to the old site. That means they are listening to the people who use their site. A lot of the millennials think, or not millennials necessarily, but the younger crowd think that is so cool. But to someone like me who's been on the internet since the internet was the internet, that's retro to me. That is totally old PHP bulletin board, when PHP bulletin board first came out look. And so to me that is very retro. Even Linux graphic type things, that's what that reminds me of. It's not something new to me. I'm guessing a lot of people who've been on the internet for a long time, that's not nothing new to them either. So I prefer the old site. I'm glad I had that option to revert back to the old site. My eyes are glad because I was actually able to go to the freebies forums that I love and look for free patterns. I love that forum. Thank you, Simone. I love that forum. So that was my rant for the day. I haven't done one in a long time. It wasn't really a rant. I just felt that the option to revert should have been there all along. Like, just like if I go to, like when I went to care to try a new site, and you click over and you look at the new site, and if you, do a survey or whatever, and that way, before you commit to something like that, you can have other people besides your test group, give you their honest opinion about what's going on. Like people always say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Maybe have an option where people could, change the background colors and change and stuff like that on their own for their personal preferences. That's just, or have different templates that people could apply themselves. They can select which template they want for their viewing. So if it's someone who prefers dark colors, because I see some of the younger kids who video game and stuff at work, they have the dark contrast on their computer screens. Whereas older people like me, we have chosen colors that aren't super bright. They're more soothing to our eyes. Colors in creams, tans, something that is soothing, earth tones, so to speak. Something that's not glaring or something that's not hurting our eyes. So, but like I said, I'm working on another one of those hats, and it's in a Malabrigo book. Let me see if I got the book up here. I'll show you. Yeah. It's in this book that I got from Baba Sheep. It's book 3. So it was a while ago. And the hat is in here. I'll see if I can find it without the one that's just a picture. And it's called the Pearl Ridge hat. This hat has been around for a long time. This is like an old ski hat from the 70s, made just like this. And so yeah, it's almost time to get my hair retwisted again. My dreads, my scalp is starting to itch. It's thunder and lightning outside, so if we lose power, then you guys, power flicker and whatnot. But I also have this yarn from Baba's, and it's a Plymouth yarn. Now, Plymouth yarn is my absolute favorite go-to yarn for baby stuff or fingerless gloves and stuff like that. I use if it's somebody that I think would take care of a woolen acrylic blend, then I usually get some Plymouth yarn. But this yarn, I have 6 skeins of it. I have 3 in this color, and this is the DK paint pot number 1404, and then I have the complimentary skein in the it's called Sprout, and it's number 162. So I have 6 skeins of this, and I'm gonna do a flax light for B. I should have enough yarn to do the flax light. So I got the pattern printed out. I've been looking at other people's projects and reading their notes. I'm gonna make a sweater, Sharon. Aren't you proud of me? It's not for me though. It's for the baby. I've done a baby sweater, knitted baby sweater before. I've crocheted baby sweaters and little baby dresses, but I'm actually gonna try and redo one from her pattern, because if I'm successful, then guess what? I'm gonna make a flax light or a flax for me. Using my hand spun. I'm actually gonna pick out hand spun and do a project for me. No, actually, you know what? I might use I have some wool up there from the fiber mill that I've been wanting to do a project on. I'll probably use that instead. That way I don't feel so guilty. I mean, I can always spin one. No, I'll use hand spun. Or I might use a combination of hand spun and the mill yarn. Like I might use the mill yarn for like the trim work and stuff like that, and just do the hand spun for the actual garment. Or I might stripe it. You never know. You never know. I'm gonna make a sweater. I've been saying that for the last 5 or 6 years. I haven't made a sweater for me. I've crocheted sweaters for other people, but I haven't made one for me. So wish me luck. But I'm definitely gonna be, once I finish this blanket project, I'll start on my flax light for B. I had my husband go upstairs and look in the attic room, and because I was like, do I have more fiber? I don't think so. But he went up there and he found 2 great big bins. It's all processed fiber though, so thank you God. It was all processed fiber. And he got 2 big bins, and they probably have 4 fleeces in each bin the air was smushed out of them. So there's 8 more bags of fiber that's in my craft room. And it's like out of sight, out of mind. So I don't want anything to be out of sight, out of mind anymore. My problem is once I got hats. I got the baby dress that's it fit me, but it's gonna be too small, too fast. So I'm gonna give it to my daughter's friend. So I'm gonna make another baby dress for B. That dress only takes like an hour and a half to do. So I can whip one of those up in no time. Probably do it today. Since I've already finished the squares, because I can't work on the squares and stuff when she's here. She likes pulling yarn, and I got all these little bits left over that I want to do that quick oats for the other baby. So it's like, so much to do, so little time. So that's what's going on. I'm back into a creative groove, and it's pretty fun. I've also been playing World of Warcraft again. I've been playing World of Warcraft Classic. They're getting ready to release another expansion, and it's WoW gone wrong again. Really, Mr. Pandaria killed WoW for me, killed the enjoyment of WoW for me. That was it. I stopped playing. But then when they offered Classic back up, I was like, okay. There are some things in Classic that of course, you don't like, because that's why you got the expansion sets. But I'd rather play Classic than play the current WoW. It's I don't know. I think it took a lot of the fun out of the game. It took a lot of the family element out of the game. Things started moving so fast that people who were methodical and who like to learn each area just know everything about an area. It took that out of the game because you had to move so fast to keep up with everybody else so that you could raid. And so it got to the point where even raiding wasn't fun anymore, because all of the instances were so quick. It was like boom, 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 join a group. 45 minutes later, the raid is done. There's no strategizing. There's no here we gotta learn this fight. It's more like go in, wipe everything out, get your gear, get out. That just took a lot of it out of it for me. And so I stopped playing. So now I'm playing WoW again on WoW Classic. I'm playing Classic. And I'm having fun. My husband is playing again, and we're having fun together. playing WoW Classic, you know, after work and stuff, and in between babysitting sessions. It's like every time I'm getting ready to go into an instance, to tank an instance, my daughter brings me the baby. So she has been through all the instances up to Kargas, sitting on my lap, sleeping. I've been tanking instances with a sleeping baby on my lap. And usually when she's there, we don't wipe. So yeah. But so that's it, guys. I'm sorry this video is a little bit longer than mine have been of late, but I feel talkative. So I'm just killing y'all's ears. But I'm not gonna forget, when I upload this, I'm gonna get a link to Crystal's pattern of the Sesame Street characters blanket. And I'm also going to, what was it? I think that was really the only thing that I had to post a link to. I might post a link to the flax and other stuff that I'm thinking about working on in case some of you guys want to work on it too. But one of the things I'm thinking about doing is a spin with me for next year. I'm planning it for next year, where a lot of these fleeces, the nice ones that I got, and slivers, I always get my fiber and slivers to spin. And so I'm going to break them up into, I'm not sure how many 4-ounce bags I can get from each bag yet. But I'm going to do a spin with me for each month next year, where you buy 4 ounces of the fiber, and then, you know, we're going to spin together. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to probably start the spin with me in October, November of this year to prepare for January. You know, so everybody be able to buy their January fiber in October, and then they can buy their February fiber in December. So I'll be 2 months ahead of each month. That's my goal anyway. And then it's going to help me sell off some of my fiber. I'll get to spin it and share it with other people who get to buy my fiber. And that way I can get more room in my craft room. And if it's successful, if everybody has a good time, then maybe we can also come up with okay, we spun these 12 months of fiber. Let's do a joint knit along or crochet along, or knit along and crochet along, depending on what project we decide to do. So if anybody else has some thoughts on that, you know, feel free to contact me up here on YouTube, or you can contact me on Instagram or my Facebook. Just feel free to contact me about it if you have some thoughts and ideas about it. And I'm going to see if I can get my daughter. You guys, even though she makes all these little earrings and stuff. She's been real busy lately. I don't have the earrings with me. They're, I don't know. I think it's in my bedroom. But she makes me all those little food earrings and stuff like that. I'm going to see if I can get her to make me a stitch marker specifically for my plan, so that everybody can also get one of her custom stitch markers to go along with the spinning projects. So that's one of the things I've been, because my goal this year is to spin 20 pounds of fiber. I've probably spun about 7 or 8 pounds of fiber. But there's no way I can spend it all unless I suddenly became a very wealthy person who doesn't have to work, who can just sit on her porch all day while her maid and butler take care of her house, and all I got to do all day is just sit and spin and knit and crochet. That is the dream. But that ain't gonna happen because I'm not that lucky of a person. But I will invite that energy into my life. So if it does happen, then that's what I can do. I can sit and spin and go to school for the rest of my life. Because I love learning. I love learning. So I want to get a degree in creative writing. There's a lot of things that I want to do. I might not get to do it in my lifetime, but I might get to do it in the next lifetime. You never know. You never know. Things happen. But that's pretty much what's going on with me. It's lightning here. So I'm going to finish this video and upload it and add that link to the Sesame Street blanket to it, and to the flax and the quick oats. I've done the quick oats before. It was easy. I was like, wow, if I could find a adult version of the quick coats, I could make me a jacket too, with cardigan with buttons and everything, and it was so cute. It was so cute. So y'all take care.